So I first moved back here in August of '98. And by, I want to say, well, late August of '98, I had found the local place where the booger supply store, where you buy cues and chalk and balls and tables and whatever. I've known those guys for a long time. I think at one point I probably bought one of everything they had to sell. So I'm a good customer, and like I said, I've known them for a long time. They're friends of mine. They recover my table and such. Back then, they used to have a pool table that you could play on. Off to the side, you could play on. It was a diamond table. I didn't have a diamond table at the time in my house, and heck, I didn't have any table at that time in my house. That was weird. But now they use it to just store shit on, which is kind of sad. But back then, you could get up there and you could play on it. And there was always one old guy that was in there. I don't think he worked there. He might have, but I got the impression he was just some old guy wandered in off the streets and he was just soaking up the heat of the place. But every now and then he would get up to this pool table and he would shoot this shot. This, what I call an extended cross corner shot. And I'm not sure I ever saw him miss it. He was just, this is just what he did, this was his thing. And he shot in this direction. I don't think he ever shot it this way, but it should be pretty much the same shot. And that, watching this old homeless looking guy just firing these banks, that's what drove home to me that I was in bank pool territory. I had been a 9-ball player, I had been an 8-ball player. My straight pool days were long behind me. But now all of a sudden I moved back here to the Louisville area. I grew up here, but I was gone for a long time in the Air Force and such. And watching this old guy shoot, that's what convinced me that I was not in Kansas anymore, or Memphis, because that's where I moved here from most recently, was Memphis. And I thought it was kind of cool because, not that I had mastered 8-ball and 9-ball, but I'd absolutely plateaued. You know, with any new endeavor, you know, people have usually a fairly steep learning curve, and then they plateau, and the improvement they have after that is going to be much more gradual and, I guess, much more boring. But here I had something, you know, like a new challenge. It was going to be banking balls. I had avoided banking balls for the first 20-something years of my career. And now here I was kind of forced into, you got to learn how to bank balls or you got to leave the Louisville area. That was the impression that I got. It might not have been in the brochures, but it was unofficially a requirement to be a pool player in this area. I don't know why this ball's coming up differently. Have an optical illusion. Anyways, I thought it was cool because now all of a sudden I had this whole new thing to learn and start working on and improve at that steep learning curve and all that. Very cool shit. I was talking to this girl at the Sting last night about, you know, the fact that I play pool, that's my big hobby, and well, what do you play, 8-ball or 9-ball? No, I usually play bank pool. So then I had to explain to her why in the hell I play bank pool. And that's where all this came from. It was a new challenge for me, new opportunities to learn and all that. Plus, absolutely required, if you're going to live in this area and call yourself any kind of a pool player, you have to be able to bank balls at least a little bit. So that's the story of that.